It is useful to know about Jesus even if you don't believe God exists. Humans are narrative creatures, which means we embed information from the world in our mind through stories. This is because we're not just logical creatures. We don't just think in cause and effect, but we also have an identity, which means our perspective differs depending on our upbringing, our nature, our personality, and other things. I don't want to get into too much detail, but if you want to learn more, look into Carl Jung and his understanding of psychology. Even if we don't want to admit it, we always follow an archetype. And an archetype is a universal pattern of identity and behaviors. There are many of these: the hero, the old wise man, the shadow, the persona, and even if we're not aware of it, our behavior is broadly decided by how we perceive ourselves within those archetypes. This means that if you perceive yourself as someone who always challenges adversity and decides to go through it, you're more likely to do so in the future. But what does this have to do with Jesus? As I was diving into thousands of hours of psychological lectures, I came to realize that I wanted to find a historical figure or even a fictional character that I could associate myself with that would allow me to increase my performance in life. And by performance, I didn't just mean how much money I could make, but how much happiness I could derive from my broader experience of life. And I found that the best example was Jesus. He was a man who was born in the worst of conditions, and he did nothing but enjoy and love other people. In my mind, I couldn't really register how somebody could be born in such precarious conditions and still show so much love for someone. And obviously being God helps a lot, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter to how we perceive his story. Even if he was just a human, he lived a life none of us could ever live. He had claims of performing all these miracles and having a way deeper understanding of life that you and I ever will. Not only that, but he was always willing to come to adversity for what he believed. And this went beyond just debating people. He was willing to die for it. Isn't that something you and I would want to emulate? I know I do. So even if you don't believe Jesus is God, I would recommend looking into his story.